I'm just here outside, where I've been sleeping. It's somewhat endurable, the weather, but it is getting kind of cold. And yeah, I seen someone live here on YouTube and wearing a MAGA hat and talking all this smack about, the food stamps and people losing their food stamps and, just, they don't understand that there's so many people working who are on food stamps, and, yeah, like, it's just, this isn't easy, to be out here as a woman constantly worrying about, is somebody gonna, rape me, because that seems to be all these men want, is sexual favors, and nothing is from the heart out here. It's just so wicked, it's so vile, it's so disgusting. It doesn't matter, race, ethnicity, religion. These, the men are just, they think they can take advantage of women. And because you're in a situation that they can abuse and mistreat you, and you can set boundaries with people all day long, but, a sexual predator is going to be a sexual predator regardless. So, this spot, I mean, I feel safe. I'm sleeping outside. It's cold. It's not easy. So I'm just continuing to pray to the Most High about where to go. I came out here back to New Jersey to, do what I needed to do, as a mother of 5 children. Like I said, the situation that I'm in is, narcissistic abuse, domestic violence, and, that's what I'm saying. Like, my homelessness started because of that, domestic violence and stuff. Hold on a second. I'm trying to learn this YouTube live. I don't know. Okay. Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. Just trying to figure this out here. Okay. Hello. Hi, Tropical. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, just talking about homelessness in America. What did your dad say, Samantha? Hey, what's going on, everybody? What did he say? I guess you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, I'm at my little spot where I grew up. I grew up here, so this is the safest spot I know, where I can just be without any, I try my best, as a woman, to be out here, to be safe, but it just doesn't, it is what it is. Oh, wow, really? Yeah. Yeah, that is strange. That certainly is crazy stuff. Yeah, as a woman, it's so different on the streets. You gotta be in constant, constant survival mode. Like right now, I mean, yeah, I feel safe, but, oh, okay. You feel safe, but, I mean, you can really be assaulted at any time, anywhere as a woman, Yeah, thanks, Samantha. Yeah, I'm sorry that your dad said that to you. Yeah, I mean, that prostitution is the oldest, they say the oldest, form of making money or whatever, but no. No, I respect my body these days. My body is the temple, so, I'm not just giving it up to anybody like that anymore. You know, you gotta take care of your body, and especially with all these diseases and, you know, viruses and everything. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet, Ellie. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. Thank you. Yeah, this is hard. You know, this ain't easy. Like I said, my homelessness is because of, you know, I was adopted into a family of severe dysfunction. So, yeah, yeah, I'm trying to break the cycle. You know, I'm trying to break the cycle. So that's kind of where my homelessness began. You know, yeah, my mom's adopted son beat me up, and, you know, I was 18, so she said, you know, if I press charges, that I could pack my bags and leave. So that's what I did. I packed my bags and I left because I wasn't going to tolerate any more abuse. I had enough. You know, I had enough. So, and then I went into a women's shelter, and that was an interesting experience. Yeah, speaking of shaking your behind, my roommate, she liked to twerk. That's what she liked to do in the room in front of the mirror. So, yeah, that was a women's shelter. And, yeah. But you know what? I'm proud of myself. I don't care what these people think, their judgments about my homelessness. I still graduated high school. I didn't quit school. So I'm not a quitter. You know, it's not in my spirit to quit. What's weird, Ellie? What Samantha said, or? Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Addie. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Yeah, you know, it's crazy because, I mean, I'm a Torah observant, you know, believer, but, you know, and sometimes, you know, Christians show me more love than the Torah observant, and it's just strange. It's a mixed bunch. I mean, I'm a believer regardless, so I definitely believe in the Most High, for sure. But like this guy, he's a Christian, and he let me in his home, and, you know, I put the boundaries in place. I said, as long as you know we're just brothers and sisters, you know, in Messiah, in Christ, you know, and yeah, you know, it's like you know, they just don't respect boundaries. It doesn't matter what what religion, race, ethnicity, creed. You know, I'm talking about men. I mean, I had a woman violate me one time. Don't get me wrong. I did. I was, again, you know, going through my family problems, and a woman let me stay with her. And she slipped me a... Hold on a... Okay, my apologies. I don't know. I have a message under review. I'm still trying to learn. I don't really, you know, go live a lot on here. You know, like I said, yeah, I'm just grateful, you know, for those who are keeping me company, and that are here, and I appreciate it, you know. I was trying to see something here. Yeah, I know, right? Release the Epstein files. You got that right. Release them. You're sure right, Gabrielle. Release those Epstein files. Yes. The real rapist is in office. The real pedophile. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people worship that man, but yeah, so I'm not really too, you know, bummed about losing my stamps. Like I said, you know, I've been on this journey of healing, having a spiritual awakening, if you will, being born again, spiritual awakening, you know, born from above, trying to do what's right, you know, but I'm not perfect. I miss the mark all the time, you know, and sometimes I react, you know, that's part of it. I react to these people, you know, who just, yeah, they're weird. They're strange sometimes. But yeah, I'm at my little spot, so it's not bad here. It's still, um, it's still, not easy. It's cold, you know. I'm trying to see what we got here. Community. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I hope everyone else is doing well. And if you lost your stamps or you're on assistance or something, my heart goes out to you. It's gonna get harder, They're laying off a lot of workers, a lot of people are losing their jobs and yeah, they're laying people off. So, it's a mess out here. Mm. It's a mess out here. But yeah, this is what it's like. This is the life. I can't really put a 10 here, but I'm trying to pray and ask the Most High, where He wants me to go. And I'm just kind of grateful, I mean, my spot is my spot, this is what it is. Yeah, you know. And I do have electricity, so I'm grateful for that. Um, I have a little spot where I can charge my phone. Nobody really bothers me, so I got my other phone charging and everything, and, you know, yeah, just grateful, you know. So I just hope everyone's well out there. So yeah, they're doing some construction over here, so nobody can really get in and bother me on this side. So that's good. But yeah, this is real, People are struggling out here. People need help. And um, like I said, I was at the women's shelter. I was at the women's shelter. And, they were bullying me. And I got really sick in the shelter. I caught a virus. They were violating the health codes. And the shelters are just dangerous. They really are. They're dangerous. There's not a lot of real protection in the shelter when people start, you know, bullying and harassing you. And yeah, the staff, they're not really equipped. And some of them are really kind of corrupt anyway. Some of the staff, they have their issues too. So yeah. I don't know if you guys can write in the chat, but that's okay. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Can you guys say, I don't know if the chat's turned on or not, but anyhow, yeah, so. But thank you for the love, and, I am clean and sober. I'm grateful for that, I'm not using. I'm, it's just like me being out here with the Most High. That's it, the Most High, the creator of heaven and earth. I'm just putting my faith and my trust in Him. That's all we got, You can't really rely on this government. Half the time, you can't rely on people. Man will disappoint you, They'll people let you down. So I learned on the journey not to have any expectations, and, that way there's no disappointments. But so far, yeah, nobody really bothers me over here. Um, there's no real buddy over here bothering me. But like I said, at least I can charge up my phone in case there's an emergency, or something. At least I have that here, you know. So, yeah, just probably going to try to get some rest, go to sleep, um, the best you can. You try to get sleep as much as you can, right? For being out here, you know. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just, there's some high beams over there, but there's like a parking lot and everything. Um, so, let me see. I'm trying to see something on my phone. So, okay, cool. Yeah, no, my phone is charging up, and that's cool. But yeah, no, I'm grateful for everyone that is supporting me through prayer and yeah, I'm just a little out of it, guys, because I'm tired. This is exhausting. Like people tell you, it's so easy to say get a job, and I mean, I'm able to work, but technically I'm considered, disabled. I like my childhood was really horrible. A lot of trauma, a lot of things, complex PTSD, and I didn't know until I got on the journey and I learned about, um, narcissistic abuse and gaslighting and all that stuff causes brain damage. It's a brain injury. So just trying to learn how to, um, you know, stay away from toxic people and just heal. And like I said, sometimes, yeah, when you got to heal those childhood wounds and you got to, look within and not, let people uh, take advantage, manipulate, hurt you. And, I guess, being a woman out here, that's what they think, like that I'm just going to lower my standards for a place to stay. No, I'd rather be right here in the cold doing it like this than be let a man, take advantage of me, and try to hurt me, rape me, abuse me. I've already gone through that in my life, and my family knows I'm out here. They don't care. They're not believers, and it's hard. It's hard. But yeah, I'm pretty much where I grew up. I'm like, my mom is a hop, skip, and a jump away. So it's like, it is what it is. You just make the best of it. I'm still looking for housing, um, still looking for a place, but it's cold and I might have to go back to Florida. It's too cold. But there's more resources here for me. There's more resources here. This isn't, the ideal life for anybody, you know? So, but this is what it is. And, I just try to make the best of it. I try to keep the faith, prayer, staying in the Abba's word, um, keeping those boundaries strong and tight, not letting people bring harm my way or negativity or any of that, trying to keep myself safe. That's why I'm saying you got to be careful. You don't want people to really know your location. Um, but the stars are beautiful, guys. There we go. Look at this. Look at how, that's what I'm saying. Look at this. This is so beautiful. I mean, I just see the good in everything. I see the light. I see the goodness. There's a star, and it looks like there's another star. There's a star. Wait a minute. There it is. See the stars? There's a nice star right there. And there's a star over here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I just have a different personality. Not It's like it's what you make it. It's what you make it. So this is like tabernacling with the Most High. That's what I'm saying. This is like tabernacling with the Most High in the wilderness, putting all my faith and trust in Him that He's gonna provide and take care of me. And that's kind of, how I feel about the whole thing. So my attitude and is different. Like I don't wake up miserable for the most part, even though it's cold. um, but I know there's so many people in this world that are actually like living in worse conditions than what I have here right now. Being homeless, and not having a place to go yet. So just, yeah, keep me in prayer, guys. I'm just, you know, um, I just saw on YouTube that, this is, we're criminals now. I'm looked at as a criminal. I'm a thought criminal. I'm a criminal. um, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm a smooth criminal, right? But I doubt it. No, no. I just want to be with the Most High. That's all I desire. This world is passing away in all its desires. So I kind of like being out here on some level. The cold isn't fun. The cold isn't always fun. Right now it's bearable, but it's gonna get brutal. Um, so yeah, but we have lovely stars up there. I have my, I can listen to worship music. And I'm just this, like I said, it's not all bad. It's the Most High will make a way for His children. He really will. Just put your faith in Him. Put your faith in the Most High, no matter what your situation is. We praise Him all the time, in the good and the bad. Um, but yeah, I'm on disability, and I'm, just doing the best I can. People will say, well, you're able-bodied. Yeah, I can work so many hours. Yes, I can. But at the end of the day, I need a roof over my head. It's kind of hard. I don't have a vehicle. Um, yeah, I was young and I was stupid and I blew a lot of money. I've had a lot of money. But money's not my God. Money's not my master. Especially with the digital currency that's coming, you know, I don't want to be a digital slave. I don't want to sign up for digital identity, biometrics and all that stuff. Certainly not. Um, yeah, they're scanning my face at Walmart. They're scanning my face probably, on these cameras, and they're scanning my face on this phone right now. Like, come on. So they're constantly doing biometrics on us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Um, yeah, and this anti-Christ, anti-Messiah system is is certainly, putting the pressure on the people, right? Putting the pressure on. The heat is on, and we're beyond. America's beyond help, I think, at this point. The Most High, He's gonna judge, and I just want to be right with the Most High. That's all I care about. I don't care about fashion, celebrities, the music industry, you know, Bitcoin, what cryptocurrencies. Um, just don't care for this world. Um, I just don't care for it. Like, honestly, if I had a whole lot of money, I would love to just live in a similar situation with just being outside, in the wilderness, you know, away, somewhere in the woods and whatever, and you know, and just living off the land. Like, that's the ideal thing. But um, but this government, this beast system, it's got drones, it's got AI, it's got robots, it's got guns bigger than what these people have. The government has, our those robots, military robots, and so it doesn't matter how much food you store, they'll kick your door in, they'll find you. You could be in a bunker. They have things to find people under the ground, and stuff. They have technology to find you. But I do believe in Psalm 91. I do believe that if we are truly in the secret place of the Most High, that He can cover us, and He can truly cover us and from this technology. Yeah, yep. I truly believe that in my heart, that He could. Because it happened to me in Florida. I was in a situation, and the cops rode right by me, didn't even see me, and I had someone pray Psalm 91 over me. They prayed Psalm 91 over me. And It's almost as if I had an invisible cloak on. Yes, the Most High is going to do miraculous things in these end times. You know, it says, all those who endure to the end shall be saved, right? So I don't necessarily believe in a pre-trib rapture, um, you know, because it does say all those who come out of the great tribulation. So it sounds like we're going to be going through this tribulation. Some say we're going to be raptured. I don't know. But what I can say is, yeah, pray Psalm 91. Pray a prayer of protection over you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper in his mighty name. Hallelujah. You know? Yeah, because it's real. You know, it's real out here. Like, it's cold. I mean, I could sleep upstairs in this train station, but, you know, the transit cops kind of already told me that they'll trespass me. I've called the homeless hotline. They only give the homeless one night out of the whole entire year. They'll give you a motel room. It has to be code blue in order for them to put you in a motel. And then, you know, there's the issue of staying with people that claim that they're believers or Christians, but they don't respect boundaries. Now, mind you, I've roommated with women, but again, you know, when we live with other people, you know, you know, they might not respect your boundaries, you know, and things of that nature. Neighbors don't respect boundaries. I'll tell you, when I lived in Texas, the neighbor, you know, was hitting my cat with a broom, throwing rocks at it. I tried to, you know, call the authorities and do the right thing, and animal control and animal whatever, and whatever that is, humane society, you know, for animals. Uh, yeah, it's a mess. Like, Babylon is not here to help you. And then, of course, when you are on government assistance, or you have been labeled as something, even if it's from narcissistic abuse, they weaponize that against you. Of course they do. People weaponize that. And, you know, my heart does go out to these government workers and stuff. But you know what? I've been in the system. I was a foster child. I was a foster baby. I was adopted into this. I was born into the system from day one. And you know what? Father, forgive me if I'm wrong. But the Bible does say you reap what you sow. The Bible says, the scripture says, you reap what you sow. And a lot of these government workers think they're better than you. Think, you know, they're here to serve you. They're here to serve you, but they think they're better than you. And some of them do have a superiority complex. And a lot of them are narcissists and psychopaths and, you know, weirdos, right? Who think they're better than you. So again, Father, forgive me, but you reap what you sow. And maybe some of these workers, you know, they're getting a taste of what it is to be standing in the bread line, being at a soup kitchen or whatever. Yeah. Being on the streets. You know, having, you know, 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless, getting fired, having to drain your 401k, your life savings. Yeah. So you got to be mindful of how we treat people sometimes, because you never know when it's going to come to bite you in the butt. And some might say, well, maybe I'm getting mines. And I'll say, you know what? Hey, I've turned my life around. I've repented. I'm not the same person. You know, and, you know, I didn't know what narcissistic abuse really was until a few years ago. And the community, I'm grateful for the community and the education, the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. You know, and the Most High says his people perish for a lack of knowledge. You know, his people perish for a lack of knowledge. So I don't want to perish for a lack of knowledge. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful for the knowledge and the education that I'm receiving every single day, to protect myself from toxicity, from manipulation, gaslighting. Yeah, like this is power. It's powerful stuff. And it allows me to set boundaries and to know who my true friends are and who isn't. And it has allowed me to do the inner work for my own childhood wounds, traumas. So this is a spiritual awakening, facing my own demons, if you will, because yeah, we're all flawed in some way. But the Messiah, the Most High, Yahushua, he wants to bind up those wounds. He's close to the brokenhearted and those crushed in spirit. And like I said, I have a good time out here, believe it or not. This is fun. I don't know if I could do it at 60. I don't know if I want to be in the freezing cold when I'm 60, 70 years old. Maybe by then I'll have senior living if it's still here. I doubt it, but we'll see, right? Yeah. So like I said, I just kind of hope everyone is, well, and just keep me in prayer. But I'm just going to have a good night, and thankfully the bathroom opens up at a certain time. They're closed right now, but and I got coffee, so you can try to get a coffee in the morning, and there's a quick check nearby that's open 24 hours, so you just do what you got to do. But it's getting to the point though, I don't want to abandon my son. I don't want to, I've been alienated for over 20 years, and it hurts. It hurts, and I wasn't, mother of the year, but, people can't weaponize things against you for your whole entire life, especially when you put in the work to actually change, and you have the fruit of the Spirit, and you have, changed, truly changed, transformed your life. And like I said, I've had to learn on my journey that, I'm not the problem. They always wanted to make me the scapegoat and the problem, but it's the whole system is dysfunctional. So I don't accept that anymore. And I've been able to embrace, and myself where I am, and self-acceptance. And once I got in the community of narcissistic abuse survivors and domestic violence survivors, I was able to forgive myself and say, you know what, I'm not ashamed to be homeless. Because my homelessness is truly because of narcissistic abuse and domestic violence. That's where it really began. And that is the truth. That is the truth. And I've been struggling ever since. And my narcissistic mom, who has my son living with her, he's told me she's already threatened to put him on the streets when he turns 18, which is very, very painful as a mom to hear, as his mom. But it doesn't surprise me, because these people don't change, and they get a paycheck, and then when you turn 18, they probably don't get a government paycheck anymore. So again, the NARC doesn't need you anymore, so they kick you out, or you hold them accountable, or they have a narcissistic injury or whatever. So my son desires to have a relationship with me, and she basically has already threatened to throw him on the streets. And like I said, the whole family is dysfunctional. And the person that said he could, live.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo puedo pasar por otro lado?
The bus?
Para el otro lado.
Sí, the other side. I'll show you.
How can I go?
Oh, wait a minute. You want to know the bus? Primo, the bus is over here. The bus.
No, I had to go to the other side.
See, you go, look. Hold on, I'll show you. It's no problem.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
you're okay.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, so go up here,
All right.
and then you cross over.
All right.
See, cross over, and then the bus is right here.
No, I want to go to train. I go to New Brunswick.
Oh, you're going to New Brunswick. Okay, yes, this
Because
side. This side.
I did the mistake and I come into over
Okay,
here.
no problem. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
So you're gonna go up, and you're gonna go on this side goes
Okay.
to New Brunswick.
Okay, thank you
See,
very
no
much.
problem. Okay, you be safe. Okay,
I appreciate it.
sir, be safe.
Thank you very much.
Of
Thank you.
course. Yeah. Well, you just do your due diligence to help people. That's all you can do. That's what I try to do, to be a helper. So, yeah, this is my home. you know, so, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just not the ideal life that I thought I would be living. But I don't know. I'm in good spirits. I don't know about how other people do it. I mean, but I just try my best to be in good spirits. Maybe because I ate today and I have my belly full, but when your belly's not full and you haven't eaten anything and you're cold, yeah, that's when I guess it can get bad. And obviously, if you're using, which I suggest you don't do, keep your sobriety. Being on the streets and doing drugs and alcohol certainly isn't going to help your situation. So yeah, but for the most part, I'm pretty safe, I guess. Like that guy, he was drunk, so you never know. He was intoxicated, so he sees me, and that's why I said you got to be so careful. You just got to be, as a woman, you just got to constantly be careful and mindful of your surroundings at all times. Be vigilant. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna try to get some sleep because it's hard to do and it's cold, and trust me, it's cold. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to endure it and just keep praising the Most High no matter what. So, good night, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed evening, and hopefully I wake up tomorrow and, it'll be a new day. Bye.